Hi all, I've just come back from the Southend Congress. I played 6 out of the 7 games. I was a bit knackered after yesterday. I played 2 FMs yesterday. I got 1 out of 2 and a very exciting win there, again against Dave Ledger. But after I got hammered in the second game yesterday, I really thought I couldn't do the journey from London to Southend. Last year, we had stayed at hotel for 4 nights, and this year, we thought we'd be travelling, but anyway, I gave the last round a miss, but that's good news for you because I'll try and do some of these games from Southend. Before I do, there's an interesting new annotator on YouTube, Scene G Godley. I'll check out his videos. Some of them are very interesting indeed. Good analysis, some historical backgrounds and context. Okay, so this is my game from round 2. I was black and he played d4, and I didn't really want to play the Slav to risk another sterile draw, especially my opponent was lower rated at around 150, but he's a 150 junior. His new rating will apparently be around 165 on the ECF website. So Alex Combie. I played my old favourite, the King's Indian Defence. So it can be much more exciting than many of the Slav lines. But, the Slav has got some interesting lines. I don't want to sort of say the Slav is boring overall. But the King's Indian overall, I think, is more exciting to me still. But more dangerous. You can lose more horribly, as well as win more games with it, I think. Double-edged sword. So he plays what I think is the Petrosian system. So here, after black playing e5, he played d5. And I played a5 now. I'm just trying to use this c5 square. The point of a5 is that I want knight a6 to c5, but I want my knight to remain on c5 without being kicked away with b4. b4 would also be useful for this standard pawn chain attack against d6. If you read Nimzovich's My System, these pawn chains, they're in theory you're supposed to undermine them at base. The base square of black's pawn chain is here, but in practice the exploitable base would be this one. It's exploitable because white can easily reach it more easily with c5. So anyway, so a5 positioning, I want to secure a knight on c5 in some variations. So bishop g5 though, and we're sort of crossing over now into something I had prepared in the Averbach system, which is another video sort of brewing up for you to explore some lines of the Averbach. So in the Averbach you have this combination of the bishop e2 and bishop g5. I think that's been described as cramp and provoke in one of the King's Indian books my good friend Alex has just given me. And I was kind of pleased that I kind of knew this then, that there's a reasonably good plan I had in the back of my mind here to do with knight a6 and later c6, cd and queen b6. I was analysing some variations with Rivka not so long ago in the Averbach, but he sort of changed the direction of the game because those variations based on c6 and queen b6 assume queen d2. He changed the whole course now of the game with knight d2, and during the game, I was still, I was concerned really now, what is a decent plan here? Because he's really ruling out now this idea of c6 and queen b6, because the knight, might also go to b3 to challenge my knight on c5. So I'm a bit stuck now for a reasonable plan. I thought though one of the standard things to do is break the pin with queen e8, this pin on the knight. So I played that, and now he plays a3. And I noticed that there's another annoying pin developing here soon with b4, because if ab, I wouldn't be able to play knight b4 because of this pin. So I unpin basically the knight from the a8 rook by playing bishop d7 to give my rooks some support, to still temporarily stop white from playing b4. He doesn't play b4 actually, he plays b3, which I was a bit surprised by, but he saw maybe a positional threat of black playing a4 to try and clamp down on b3 and be able to take en passant and then isolate this pawn if black could take en passant. So he played b3, so he's slowly preparing b4 later. So I take this opportunity to kick this bishop, with h6. He plays it to h4. Now I play knight h7. Where else can the knight go? Not many places to allow the f pawn to advance. And now he plays what I think, I was really delighted when I saw this move. Because I remember ages ago witnessing an old game of Sturgeon from some tournament. Now Sturgeon was a very strong player who my father, who by the way taught me chess, he played in simultaneous against Sturgeon. And he was a very intelligent guy and very impressive when he was like thinking about his games. Anyway, I actually towards the end of Sturgeon's life, I saw him in a tournament, and actually he was on the black side of a king's engine. And I remember this variation where he had casually played f5, and his opponent, just took on f5 and played this nasty bishop h5 here, because it like drives away the queen. And then like bishop e7, and in the Sturgeon game, it was actually winning the exchange. There wasn't even c8 for the rook. Anyway, I was aware of this possibility just from watching this tournament game like years ago. But my opponent playing f3, he's blocking in this bishop, from these bishop h5 variations. So I thought that's great, lovely, jubbly. So knight h7, f3, f5 now, and to add to my delight, my opponent plays e takes f5, so he's given me, this dangerous possibility now of e4 in some variations, which actually, after queen c2, I calculate that it can work here, because I really want to blast open this bishop on this diagonal, and I play e4. I think I can get away with it. And fe, fe, let's have a look. So what I had seen, and now with the benefit of Rivka to see if this is sound or not, was that bishop f5 here would be winning a piece. Now Rivka, interesting, gives just castling, but I was looking at bishop d3, just winning a piece. Because, yeah, bishop takes c3, and, there's that pin on the knight, so queen takes c3, and now bishop e4, just winning a whole piece. So that would be winning. So I've been able to get away with e4, just creating this great, trump card, this bishop, maximizing it. So he took on e4, I took on e4. I'm delighted now with my position. And, if he castles, then I've got e3 and bishop f5. And look at these, these bishops would be the raking bishops on these two diagonals. So he tries to at least prevent my future bishop f5 by playing g4. Maybe thinking that he can at least try and castle queenside. I play knight c5, and I don't give him too much rest here after he castles queenside. First I play e3, driving his knight back. And now, guess what I played? I think it's an important move. I was, showing my good friends Kostas Karyonis and Alex Eflontis, what would they play here? They were saying a4, but I played something else. I'll give you 5 seconds to see if you can spot the move that I played. Okay, I played rook a6. The reason I thought a4 wasn't that good, but actually, Rivka gives this as the top move. And let's have a look. I thought I would be closing the position a bit. So this position, I didn't really see what I'd be doing here. So my move was rook a6, and I thought that was going to be great. So in the game he played b4, and Rivka's suggestion is rook df1. Alright, let's stick with the game though. b4, and he's like weakening his king a bit more. Although I am curious now, is there this threat of rook b6? What's happening with that? To attack b3, so knight takes, knight b5. So maybe this rook a6 plan, I'd overestimated it. But now Rivka gives a very good continuation for black, as though it's a big advantage, taking on b5. Then just rook takes b5. A lovely exchange sacrifice. So my rook a6 is justified after all with this exchange sack, because now b3 really is under fire here. and it will be a disaster for white. So it wasn't such a bad move, this rook a6.